Let's talk about your bar, about Tula's. When did you open?
13 years ago. When was that? I don't know. About 1995, something like that.
94, 95, New Year's Eve, 94.
New Year's Eve, yeah. We had Chief Birdie and a Floridora girl
and your son, Elliot.
Yeah, we had a great band.
And the Bite family.
Yeah, on about 8 hours' notice, we put together a New Year's Eve party and opened the doors. No cover. And free buffet, right?
That's right.
Free buffet.
That's right, yeah.
Where's that buffet?
We missed it. That was 13 years ago.
He still got a little bit left over.
Might be a few pieces of chicken back then. But we had a wonderful night, and so we've been plodding along here for 13 years with Seattle Jazz.
Hey, I understand that you've gotten some honors here lately. Tell us about that. The DownBeat magazine?
Yeah, DownBeat says we're one of the 100 great jazz clubs in the world. We're very honored to be mentioned, and the local jazz society here, Earshot Jazz, they've given us several awards over the years for our various concerts that we've hosted. But most of the good feeling, so to speak, comes from local musicians.
Yeah.
Just doing something to further jazz.
Didn't Wynton Marsalis have something to say?
Wynton Marsalis picked us as one of his top 10 jazz clubs in the U.S.
That's something else. Yeah.
He was able to come to that decision in about 15 minutes. He was here 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right? No kidding. Yeah.
But
didn't take long.
Yeah, he went up on stage, played one number, and the car was waiting for him. And he
Is that right?
Yeah.
For heaven's sake.
But we were honored to have him.
I guess so. Yeah.
But we've had Mike Beegle play here several times during their early years. He's played a couple of the New Year's Eves, and did a great job.
Started with me and Derek Polk, the duo.
DP.
Yeah, DP. That's
BP.
right. Yeah. You used to tell us, they say, you're gonna have to work for tips now. Can't afford to pay you. We said, we know that. We're happy to do it. And then at the end of the night, we'd go up and look in the tip jar, and there'd be $100 in there. We got miraculously in tips every time. I don't know who put that in there. There was a very heavy tipping crowd.
That guy must have left town.
Yeah. Then eventually we wound up with the quartet.
Yeah.
Had the neurologist playing drums, and what was the piano player's name? A young fella.
Hispanic guy?
No, not Marty. No.
Marty Olache?
Not Marty. Yeah, he played for a while. But the young kid, what the heck was his name?
I don't know, the guy that worked at Microsoft or something like that?
No, he was a piano player full time. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
He's a good player, just a young guy.
His name wasn't Otter, was it?
No, it was not Otter. So, what would your advice be to someone that decided that they wanted to go into the business of owning a jazz club?
I would say don't. Are you stupid?
Are you nuts?
It's easier to get into than it is to get out of sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else, that's gone broke says it's real easy to get out of, but.
Well, you managed to keep it going. That's been, it's a real.
And that's about it. Keep it going. It's among jazz clubs. It's a successful.
Yeah. Well, I can. The musicians in town sure are appreciative of this place.
I think they are.
This is home for them. A second home. Yeah.
They keep me pumped up.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah. So, what was this place before you opened it?
It was a blues club for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And a place called Mr. Blues. Before that, it was a French restaurant.
Okay.
They had live jazz, I think on weekends. Not very successfully, I might add. Then before that, it was a place, that had clothing and sandwiches. It's called the Soho. Prior to that, I don't know. A gas station, I think.
Probably, yeah. Well, I remember the first time I walked in here, it was Mr. Blues had just gone under.
Yeah.
This place was a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really blue.
Oh boy, good Lord, it was just absolutely like a garbage dump in here.
Yeah.
You had a lot of work to fix this place up like it is.
Yeah, we overhauled it in 45 days. Got my liquor license in record time.
Yeah.
It was easier to get my liquor license than it was my passport.
Really? Is that right? Yeah. So what are your plans for the future? You think you'll be expanding this place? And
No, I don't think so.
You think you'll be making it any smaller?
I'd kind of like to go back into retirement.
Would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
This time I promise to stay there.
So
Sit home and practice melodious etudes on trombone.
So if you got the right offer, then you'd give it up, huh?
It would be tough.
I'm sure it would. Yeah. I can remember when you first opened.
Nobody else would do what I'm doing.
No. No. You have to love the music to do what you.
And all the local musicians here in town readily admit that the Seattle music scene would be a rather dark scene without Tulas.
Yeah. This is about the only game in town right here.
For our local musicians.
Yeah.
We have Jazz Alley, we have the Triple Door, and some of the best of the local musicians may get a gig there once a year. Mm-hmm. But otherwise,
it's all out of town people.
Yeah, it would be out of town people, and then they would be relegated to playing restaurants that feature jazz behind the potted plant on the weekends. Or somebody that has a dead night and wants a little a jam session or something.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah. But Tula's is we feature regularly 8 to 9 bands a week.
Wow, that's something else.
It's a place that's totally dedicated to jazz and to the music scene here in Seattle. Seldom, if ever, do we deviate away from jazz. I try to keep it all in that one.
So no more belly dancers, huh?
No more belly dancing. When we first opened up, Mike just mentioned belly dancers. The first year that I was open, we had belly dancing and Middle Eastern music on Thursday nights.
I remember.
And those were busy nights and basically helped me survive the first year, because I would have never survived off of the jazz the first year. And at that point in time, I was virtually unknown by local musicians. Therefore, they weren't generously supporting me, shall we say. But over the years, we built a good, honest relationship between me, the club owner, and the local musicians, and they've gone out of their way to support me, even to the point of doing a fundraiser that bought me a new piano. So not many club owners, I think, would be able to say that.
I'd say.
There's usually a very adversarial situation that exists between club owners and musicians.
Indeed it is, yeah. Mo Better Blues, did you ever see that movie? Yeah, Spike Lee's movie about the jazz scene, yeah. Pretty adversarial.
Yeah.
You had some customers left over belly dance, Middle Eastern type from George's Bar and Grill at Fourth and Stewart. Is that right?
Yeah. That's the reason I had them in, and I knew what it could draw. However, I didn't want that to be my sole support. And in a venue such as Tula's, which is a jazz club, it's very difficult, I think, to have a mixed venue where you do one type of music one night, one type of music the next night. I personally feel that no matter which night a person comes down to your place, at least the type of music should be more or less the same. They shouldn't have to go out prospecting. Country and Western one night, rock pop one night.
Show up and be disappointed. Yeah.
And that's I think that's paid off for me. help keep the doors open. There is a jazz community here in Seattle that enough to support the place. But as we all know, jazz is not a music for the masses, so you can't really expect that you're going to have waiting lines every night for people to get in.
Have you considered booking Kenny G in?
I have.
Yeah, and then.
But the reason I go with local entertainment primarily is because the room holds 96 people, and that's, if you don't turn the room over, that's only 96 people, and you can't afford anybody with a big name. Especially ones that you'd have to foot the bill for hotels and food and lodging and this sort of thing, and plus paying them.
Yeah.
So I've utilized local musicians and certain out-of-town guests that the local musicians have brought in, but seldom do I feature an entire out-of-town band. There is one period of the year where I participate in the Earshot Jazz Festival, and the Earshot Jazz, they foot the bill for the out-of-town musicians that they bring in.
Oh, I see.
However, this past year there was a lot of friction between local musicians and Earshot over the fact that when they put on this jazz festival that lasts for 2 weeks, they basically put a lot of local musicians out of a job for 2 weeks.
Oh,
So I think somewhere along the line, Earshot Jazz might be better off following my philosophy, where they bring in an out-of-town guest to perform with local musicians. But
sure. There certainly are players here that are capable of doing that.
Very few people see things my way, which is probably what's wrong with the world now.
Probably so. Well, I've seen at least 2 really good New York musicians here.
Rick Margitza.
Rick Margitza and the alto player. Oh man, what's his name? Italian. He's been here a couple of times.
Danny Cavallo.
That's it. Name keeps coming back.
At any rate, the local rhythm section had no problem keeping up with those guys. I mean, they did a great job backing them up. They really did.
There's some very fine musicians here in Seattle.
There really are. Yeah.
I don't know whether you've heard this guy Bill Anschel on piano yet.
Heard of him? No, haven't heard him yet.
He's
John Hanson's an awfully fine player.
This is a step above, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well, I say that. Maybe somebody else wouldn't, but he's a guy that's had some national recognition over the years. But he's settled here in Seattle at this thing. It's
Chuck Bergeron.
Chuck Bergeron was just in town. He was playing the band on the Cuban trumpet player.
He moved where, to Miami?
Yeah, he's got a college staff gig.
University of Miami.
He's doing very well.
Oh, that's good. That's a good gig.
And there's a former Navy musician that is a contractor in the Miami area that Chuck has run across. Peter Graves, who I've been trying to talk into coming to the reunion.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Apparently he's very active in Miami
Wow, that'd be cool.
in the music business.
And what's the name of the band that I see set up behind me right here?
This band?
Right, this band.
This is Rich Wetzel. It's a big band out of Tacoma.
Okay. You have a lot of big bands in, or?
I have lots of big bands.
Yeah.
I have more big bands than Carter has pills.
Get me out of here.
And on this Sunday, I have 2 big bands in honor of Ron Oates' appearance here at Tula.
Really? Oh, the Ron Oates Festival.
Yeah,
the Ron Oates Big Band Festival?
Music Festival.
Well, Tex, we certainly appreciate your hosting us here today at Tula's. 2214
It's always a
2nd Avenue between Bell and Blanchard.
Telephone number, area code 206-443-4221.
That's the place.
What was that? Area code.
206.
206
443
443
4221.
4221.
Got it.
Did you get that, Ron?
I've got it.
Oh, okay. We got it on there.
Thanks a lot, Tex. Appreciate it, man.